Yep, I think we are on. Great. Let's just see it load here. And I close the... Let's see. I think it's on. Passover. Yep, okay. Should be able to also... let's take this one and just get a picture of the food. There we go. It's a little slow. See if I can close some of the other applications, although it's probably not going to help much. I'll give me a break. Stop. So now it should have gotten what it needs in regard to the meat. It's a little slow in regards to the image. I don't understand why why it's become so slow compared to when I bought it. Let's see if we can. Oh. Let's see here. Yeah, well, it's a wicked world we live in. Oh, that's in regards of the in regards of Passover. I'm so it's hard to follow along with everything. So we should now it's the 17th of April in the Roman pagan calendar. In 1 hour and 42 minutes, it will be the 18th. So we are around here, and the feast of unleavened bread begins or have begun. First, you start with the Passover. On the 14th, it's slain. So I got out buying some lamb today, and that's great. Let's see if we can get the image working. Maybe. Oh no! Don't open that. I have way too many tabs open. Close that one. That one. Oh, it probably doesn't. It's an old phone, and the applications just seems to make things go slower and slower and slower. I know. But anyway, oh, there we go. It actually did seem to pretty quickly react. That's nice. So first we have some unleavened bread. Then we have some bitter herbs, although there's some ananas thing as well. In regards of digesting meat and all that, it's not really something that is ordered, but I thought would fix some ananas. Some water. There's some red wine. Usually I would buy red wine without alcohol. There's some coffee there, although it's getting pretty. It's not that hot anymore. And then my lamb. There. Some rosemary, some thymian, and it was soaked in lemon, and some dry oregano, and some dry what do you call it, garlic, and I put some real garlic as well in the, I made some cuts in the meat. And what more? Well, of course, salt. And yeah, it has gotten a little roast on the side for sure, so it is roasted, Hopefully it got, enough. Oh, there's some mint as well. I don't know in regards to that. Mint, rosemary, thymian, and some dry oregano. And it did really soak all the lemon juice up into the oregano and the garlic, the dry garlic. So there wasn't much on the plate. Mostly I guess it's fat that is down there on the plate. I don't really have that many kitchen things and whatnot. But anyway, I've been moving and this. We have this nonsense of closing down. We have my office on the ground. Mostly it's musical things, but there's also, of course, there's a book in regards to Roman Catholicism. It is said by Darrow, who is a great researcher on things, that it's the best book in regards to Roman Catholicism. Then we have a book in regards of the Antichrist, I think written by a Puritan, or what do you call it? Purist, of hundreds of, well, I guess around 1,000 years of testimonies in regards to who the Antichrist is. It's the papacy. So that's full of goodies. And then we have this pile is in regards of Christian different things. This little thing is in regards of a document from 200, around 200, in regards to the book of Daniel and book of Revelation. We have the Danish Bible over there with the name, those two, with the name of God in them, mostly translated by a Jew, a former Jew. So, but anyway, that's my office in some sense, and there's some health stuff as well here and there. But anyway, health goes down the drain and we'll all end up as dirt. So, and a lot of things they're doing in nowadays to kill us, I'm gonna turn the camera, probably will. So I now have my t-shirt on in regards of Pope 666 in Danish and Jesus God and Pope666.info in regards of I don't know if it's actually this t-shirt is too big compared to what it should, but yeah. And yeah, my headlight, that's the light I use. So that's of course trying again still to get the electricity company off in regards to things. So yeah. It's not much to see really, I guess. So this is my bowl, So yeah, that's not really going to work much. I don't know if I could, if I could put it somewhere where it would. Well, it would be nice, maybe with a light. I don't know. Anyway, maybe I can set it over here, maybe from a different angle, maybe. Yeah. Well, at least you can see a little in regards of. So I'll start with the ananas, and to better be able to digest this goody. Wow. I also had some things down here. It's hopefully it's all done. I think it is. Hopefully it is. But it was frozen. I bought it frozen, so had to dry it up quickly, and it actually did pretty good. Anyway, let's start with the ananas, which is said to help in regards of digesting meat. I don't know, but anyway. It's not really commanded at all in regards of ananas, so. Oh, well, anyway. Let's see if we can move this down. Where is the closure button? There we go. Again, the mobile is. It's not that fast. Ananas. Uh-oh. That's the bullshit of the mobile. That's something that they made in Android 8. That's good. The ananas is, that's good. This is even from the bottom. I'm not sure where it's usually best, but maybe it is at the bottom. I don't know. No, it's absolutely great. Wonderful. I thought it might not be ripe enough, but yeah, this is great. Absolutely ripe enough. So that's great. And, well, have a happy Passover. What is it called in Hebrew? I can't even remember. My brain is just so, all the research, and I have over 100 tabs again open in my browser. It's like I went from 20 after I deleted all the tabs to over 100 very quickly. I was going through this list from another guy in regards of good guys. I deleted them pretty much the middle group and the last group in regards of bad, evil guys, working for the Roman Antichrist and the Roman Empire. lying and deceiving as they usually do. There's so much bullshit out there. It's just sad. But anyway, I took the good guys mostly. I did take a couple of those in the middle section as well. And then I went through them and I got into this fallen angel giants thing again. And I knew, You know, the weight in regard to the fallen angel idea and the giants absolutely is the. Absolutely is. Oh, it's just. Absolutely is. Seems to be the most weighty one. And some, again, there's different theories, but one of the theory I've heard is in regards of these are actually give me a break. Can't do anything with this mobile without it complaining. It's very sad. I can't really, this is a 5 or 6 year old phone in regards of model. So the problem is there's not really any other mobile out there that is okay, let's do this. See if we can do it like this without making too much havoc for it. Well, there's no mobile I really want to. It's all security where you can't record calls. Besides not being able to record calls, you can't. They're doing everything in their power to do so we can't do what we want with our mobiles. By the way, the application in the background is in regards of my list of. You can go into Jesus God and the line and Pope 666. Oh, sorry, Pope 666.info, and it's in the notes section if I recall. So there's like a whole list of different people. Although it's still work in progress, but there's a lot of people in regards of Roman Catholicism, the New Age occult nonsense, and different people of different strength, creationism, and so forward. And I'm just struggling in regards to which name because I don't want to have people misled, and there's absolutely, you have to eat the meat and spit out the bones, that's for sure, because there's like in regards to the alien doctrine and the giants and all that, there's some good stuff, but there's absolutely also some bad stuff mixed into it. And they don't point out that papacy is the Antichrist either. I don't think there's a single one of them in regards to this view, in regards to the angel doctrine, that actually tell you that the papacy is the Antichrist, which is just. And I've heard one that talked about, well, there was a world before. Well, actually two. Actually, I've heard two say that there was a world. No, actually, no. Yeah, well, the gap theory was one of oh, there has to be a gap. It's gap fact. You gotta be kidding me. And this beam me up Scotty doctrine and a world before the world was created. You gotta be kidding me. Like God started with it was just like clay, right? You have a ball, right? You start out with a clay thing. There's water all over, all around. There's no dry, nothing dry, and of course the dry is called land, eretz. So there's no dry earth. And so how can there be a world before? You gotta be kidding me. So God starts with a ball with water around, and then he makes the water goes into one place, and the dry land, well, the dry, which is later called land, is coming up. So he's so again, this with another thing in regards of another world. It's just so many weird doctrines out there. And so it felt like getting a little back in regards of New Age as well, in regards of the a lot of mixture. And I remember releasing, I did start out believing in regards to the fallen angels and the giants and all that, but then later on I became more. I had my I had more doubt about it, and I ended up just putting it aside and and now got into it again after so many years. I do believe that the fallen angels actually, produced the giants, strange flesh, and all that. And it further just solidified things after listening to one of the guys that was promoting the Shed and Cain line, that this was just people, having sex with the others, and not being able to tell where the giants were coming from, and saying that the giants was before this encounter, which is not true. The giants are produced, and we also have to take it in context. The giants are produced by, or the Nephilim, or the Gibborim, the mighty ones, are produced by this encounter. So it is misreading the text as far as I can. You have to, to read, not only just take one thing, and further, and it's not like, it's just, you can always disagree and find issues with people. That's not to say that you throw everything out, right? But at least on this topic, I think he's wrong. Um, but and then he went to Jude, and it's not, and he was only reading half of Jude, and I think that was dishonest. It's just, but anyway, it's not a, you can always find issues. You can always find, things that you will disagree with, and that's, absolutely correct on, for example, the papacy is the antichrist, and that's a very important doctrine to stand on. That so few stand on. So it's not like, it's not like, but oh, that, but that's so, but he was believing in the Shed and Cain view, and I just, it just, after seeing his videos, I was like, more, something it doesn't add up. It just doesn't add up. It just doesn't sound credible. And of course, reading only the first of the book of Jude and not taking the last part, it just seemed very dishonest to me. Because if you had read the rest of the things, of course, the viewers would have, you know, um, probably gotten the understanding in regards to the fallen angels. And that's one of the problems I had as well. And when I began to doubt in regards of these things, because I'm not sure why I began to have issues. At least it's many years ago, and I just ended up saying, well, I can't really. Let's just put it to the side. I have other things to to investigate and all that. But yeah, I knew that the Book of Jude, of course, that's one of the five books that is not found in the Aramaic as well. And Second Peter is the most disputed book of the New Testament. Um, so, but whatever the case, if we're going to stand on the Bible, well, as far as I can see in the second book of Peter and Jude, and Paul as well, using this view to support this doctrine that women needs to have something on their head, which I don't think is biblical, but Paul is making up his own little ideas here and there, which might be the reason why Yeshua warned us about wolves in sheep clothing, Pharisaic leaven, and the what are they called? The Herodians. Be aware of the leaven of the Pharisees and the Herodians. Now, it's only one of the places, as far as I recall, which also includes the Herodians. And that's very interesting because some actually make the connection that Paulus might actually have been an Herodian in regards to Roman citizenship. He was a Pharisee, right? Pharisee of Pharisees, and persecuting the first one to make an inquisition against the Christians. And so anyway, so that's a lot of things in regards to that. But yeah, and of course the Herodians were really not Jews. Well, they were converted Jews, false converted Jews, really. They go back to the Edomites, if I recall correctly. Although Paul says himself that he's from the tribe of Benjamin, but anyway, the thing is, all Asia rejected Paulus. In his last letter, he Paulus write this, and you have to question why would all Asia, which actually seven congregations of of Asia would have been the that Yeshua is by the hand of Apostle John writes to these seven congregations, and yet um, this is the place that rejected Paulus. Anyway, of course we knew that the devil would sow his tares amongst the wheat, according to Yeshua, of course. He had warned us. But anyway, in any case, getting back to things in regards to this fallen angel thing, there's so many sources on this, and there's so many, a huge amount of sources on this view. Multiple Christians, the Jews understood it as that, and it seems to be a more modern idea in regards of the Shet and the Cain idea. Apparently, it became a problem for the Christians, like ridiculing the view from outsiders later on. So it became, I can't remember the English word, it became a problem. It became, what do you call it? I can't remember the word, sorry. I did have it at some point, but then I didn't write it down, and then I forgot about it again, and then I can't retrieve it from the drive. Um, but it became an issue apparently, and then you know you can go back to this guy beginning to talk about this doctrine, but it wasn't the prevalent view at all. There was just one guy, and then it becomes more and more when it became when the doctrine of this fallen angel and giants view begins to be a issue for the Christians in regards of laughable doctrine or whatever. They begin to apparently promote this Shet and Cain idea. But when you look at it at the context in regards of the sons of the gods and the sons of Adam. I think it's the sons of Adam, right? Or something of that nature. But it's actually Adam. It's the translations are, you can see, like the King James translated as men, but this is like Adam. It's Adam. The name is Adam. So we have the daughters of Adam. It's just if you I tried to make a translation yesterday, although I need to redo things at some point. But it just try to make a pretty, make a translation that actually was, looking into the Hebrew and Aramaic and the Greek, and the Greek and the Aramaic translation absolutely fix the giants to the offspring of these sons of God, and then you have to question, well, why would these giants be, why would you have giants out of just people if it was just men and men, and then you have all these sources of different Christians. I'll just close the window here, by the way. So we have all these stories, or all these views, and many of the text, just goes like over the thing, like write it as it's not a big deal, right? It doesn't seem like they're writing it to promote the doctrine at all, but this is just how it is, And then we have his historians like Josephus and Philo, both of them Jews, and I don't know if Josephus might have been a Christian, although not a testifying Christian. I don't know, but it is interesting in regards of how he, writes about some of the things, and yeah, one of the places that is usually not quoted in regards to talking about. Well, I have that on my website, and just interesting. And I have to wonder if Josephus himself actually believed Yeshua to be the Messiah. But whatever the case, at least not in a we know that the Jews, some of them believed, but they wouldn't stand forward because of they wouldn't want to they rather would have the praise of man than the praise of God. So they wouldn't. And anyway, so Josephus, whatever the case, Josephus writes about this like it's the fallen angels and giants and all that. Philo writes on it, and he's also a Jew. So I have two Jewish historians writing from the first century about this, like it's fact. And I think Philo is the one that actually he writes a book on it, which I haven't read from top to bottom, but where he states that this is indeed true. This is not fiction, like someone would believe it would be fiction, right? But that's he states that this is not fiction. This is true, and so but then we have all these Christians, at the beginning of Christianity after Jesus, after Yeshua, and they all confirm this. It's just one. Well, at least we have one source after another confirming this, that this is true. But when I was listening to this guy that was promoting, and absolutely, I'm not like it's you will have to we all disagree with so it's not like I'm not casting him aside or anything, and it's not like we all have our views and all that, and it's hard to find someone you agree, well, pretty much nearly impossible to find someone you agree 100% with. So it's that's just how it is. But I was his but his arguments absolutely was when I was listening to the argumentation and all that, and it just made me further go back to this fallen angels, that there just seems much more possible than this other thing that I would pretty much proclaim as nonsense. It's just makes much more sense. Again, you have when if you read the Bible in regards of Genesis correctly, and don't just try to put your own narrative into it because you don't like it, in regards, and the support from also pagan sources, which he was actually saying that this was a pagan doctrine. But no, if you look at it's like the worldwide flood, right? We have the Bible in regards to the worldwide flood, but we have hundreds of stories of a worldwide flood, all over the world, although with variations and things that is not totally completely as written in the Bible, but it has some of the same things, so it's supportive of the Bible. And it seems like these myth stories from pagans would just suggest that this actually is supportive, that some things were going on in the past, although where they miss, things, just they would have known these things after the flood, and they of course would have known in regards to the flood. So actually, these pagan sources just seems to get more credibility that things were going on. Of course, we can't take everything as fact from these pagan sources, but that doesn't mean that there's no no truth to some of it. Like we have the gods, mating with man, producing offspring, half gods, so-called half gods, right, with immense abilities and all that. Well, that's pretty much what we have in the Bible, right? Giants that is produced, these Nephilim, these Gibborim, and again, the translation to the Aramaic and the Greek both connects these two. So even if it's two different words in Hebrew, they connect these two in regards to the mighty ones with the Nephilim. It's connected both in the Greek, XXL, and the Aramaic. So it's just interesting that the translators, because Aramaic would be translated in the first century, And so pretty clearly, again, we see an evidence that they absolutely, saw a connection. And the Greek as well, whenever that was translated, but you see the connection as well. And then you see all these Christian sources, whether they are Romanizers or not, supporting this as well. So anyway, maybe we should get on with the Passover lamb. So have a great Passover, all of you out there. I usually don't drink it. I actually did get into a bottle when the police ended up banging down my door and all that. It was like a bottle of whiskey. Well, actually, the idea was to have it with the fish, the smelly fish from Sweden, but didn't really work on these authorities. I just tried to make some, what do you call it, resistance in a non-hurtful way. Anyway, it didn't really work with the fish, the stinking fish. Anyway, you usually see people nearly puking in regards to the fish of this stro rom or whatever it's called. No, 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 that's I can't remember. I can't remember what it's even named. But didn't really work. And I don't think it was that bad either. Of course. Anyway, so yeah, I did end up. My wingmate fled the primacy pretty quickly afterwards, and left me alone. And I was like, okay, well, and I began to drink the bottle. So that's pretty much the last time I was kind of affected by alcohol. But usually yeah. So yeah, usually don't drink that much. So let's see here in regards of the lamb. What do you call it? Not spicy in the hot sense, but as the salt and the lamb is taste. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, the lemon is absolutely there. I don't taste the oregano as far as I can. Maybe. It's pretty good. Oh, maybe that's the oregano that comes there. Yeah, that's a lot of. Yeah, that's the timian, I think. Yeah, the timian coming there. Interesting. A lot of these spices are also antifungal, so that's always good. Mm-hmm. Mm. I don't know. I don't know if you eat the spices, but after they've been on it, that's the timian. No, just try to give it some taste overall. And the lemon is absolutely there, but I guess the lemon will fall away when you get further into it. There's rosemary. I wonder if that's antifungal. Interesting. And we have some garlic. That's good. I did remove the lemon things, kernels, besides a couple of them. I don't know if how it will be after. Actually not bad. Because usually the kernels do have some antifungal things in it as well. I can actually taste them. Actually, the taste is stronger in regards to the lemon kernels than it was when they were fresh. I try to eat them when they're fresh. Didn't want to waste them because I know they have some antifungal in them. You have the citradel and all, or whatever it's called, in regard to this thing that caused a lot where they use this grapefruit extract, and also of others. There's a product where they have like three different kinds of things, grapefruit and two others together to make it stronger in regards of antifungal. So I guess one of them is lemon kernels from lemon. Yeah, this is interesting. It starts out with like a sweeter flavor, this one, and then goes over to to this typical, grape-like fruit thing. Yeah. Hey, great. This is great. Absolutely, this is good. And a little roasty. So. I never have the lamb taste. Yeah. Really, in regards to if you don't like lamb, it's just after you eat it a good amount of time, you will actually get to like it. At least for my sake, at least. I hated, I hated lamb. But when you then eat it like every single day, I had a period where and I ordered these huge lambs as well and filled up the fridge. Although don't have a fridge or any refrigerator anymore. But yeah, anyway, I was eating lamb every single day pretty much, and you get used to it. And some of them you actually end up wanting stronger flavor of the sheep. Although when you get sheep, it's itching in regards to them. I guess there might be the alcohol actually promoting the itching in my. If you can't even live in your own skin, what's worth of life, right? But at least it's become a lot better than when it exploded from my breast. But who believes anything? I say. This medical mafia is full of bullshitters. Disgusting, depraved bullshitters. They're filling themselves with mammon, blood money. Disgusting, absolutely disgusting. Anyway, this is good. I think I've been pretty successful in regards to this. I didn't really know in regards to all these different spices and all that, but actually that's pretty good. It absolutely gives us like different flavors. Here we go with would have been nice with some fresh oregano, but yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. Oh wow, that's a lot of different flavors in this. That's for sure. That's very interesting. You get so it's really rich in flavors. I must say. I made some like cuts out of it and put some of the spices into that. It has like, I still have this it's just, oh, it's interesting. It's yeah, it's very interesting for sure. That's great. Oh, absolutely great. So we get the meat where there's no sugar in it, and the spices. Most of them. Oh yeah, it's true. I actually also put, although I have gloves in it. That's antifungal as well. Let's try that. See. Yeah, it's a glove for sure, and it's like wetty, and it's easy to eat. It's not that strong, I guess, after it's been cooked. You can still taste that it's a glow, but. So I guess this is rosemary again. Mm, interesting. I tried eating it when it was fresh. I didn't really. It's actually okay after it has been roasted. Mm-hmm. I don't know if rosemary is antifungal. Usually, most of the spices are somewhat antifungal. But yeah, mm. Of course that's what you want in a diet, something that's antifungal. Um, I really should have another option in regards of the wine. But yeah. So Jehovah for God, for Jehovah. As the bread broke and the wine poured out for the sins of the world. Praise to the Son of God, Yeshua HaMashiach. That's great. Because his living bread was broken and his wine poured out. And whoever believes, it is for everlasting life. Oh well, anyway, let's try the unleavened bread. Yeah, I guess I forgot to buy something for the bread, you know. I'm not sure I recall the bread as. It's made from this. I thought it was more white in it and not. Apparently, they say it's like full corn, thing. What is it? Full corn. I don't know. I thought it was more like made of the white thing. Apparently not. I did like it. I don't recall it was actually made from this brown stuff. Now you have to be careful when you buy these kinds of bread because some of them is actually leavened. So, um, so of course you have to be aware of that. I just don't recall that they were like black. So I don't know if they changed or maybe it's just me that don't remember that this was like. That this was like. Nah, I don't know. Guess it's probably just me that don't recall that it was made like from full corn thing. Anyway, um, it's not a red wine that I really would enjoy that much. I guess doesn't really. You have to be careful in regards of getting pain in your head. Even if there's no alcohol in red wine, there's these other kinds of things, substances that can make your head, you know, like I tried when I tried these wines without alcohol, or when you cook it out, and you still get you know head pains the day after. You find out it's not the alcohol; it's something else that is making you. I wonder if I can just put the bread in the fat thing here, or in the juices or whatever. I will give it a little taste. Let's try that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. That's a lot of taste to the juices. Huh. Yeah. I guess the lemon is still there, I guess. Do we have some water? Yeah, we have some water. Great. If they haven't poisoned the water, some are saying that they're actually poisoning with snake poison. Um, in regards of both the water, the injections, and killing us with kind of different drugs. Sophisticated mass murder by the Jesuits. If you look into Fauci, he's trained trained at two different Jesuit schools and also talked to them. And some believe that he's a Jesuit himself. I don't know, but he's absolutely educated by them, and it leads back to, well, Roman Catholicism. Ah, yeah. But yeah, the giant thing is, yeah, it's interesting. Well, it's really, again, it's taking me overboard. Uh, oh, the bitter herbs. We need to have the bitter herbs as well. Let's see here. If I think, as far as I recall, these herbs should be some kind of bitter. So let's try. Rucola. Let's see here if we get some bitter. Yeah. I have this aftertaste of. Well, I guess it's not as. I guess the dandelions, which I usually use, is kind of maybe more, in that direction. But I thought, I'll just take the rucola and yeah, I think it would. Oh, we have the ananas thrown off here. I think the rucola would be accepted as a bitter herb. I don't know, but that was what I chose this time. I think it would be okay too. It has this after aftertaste that is. I do prefer the dandelions, for sure. Yeah. I think this could also go in regards of the, you know, the idea of the bitter herbs. So yeah. So anyway, so in regards to the fallen, the fallen angels, sons of Elohim, or B'nai Elohim, and the B'nai Ha-Adam, you see the contrast of these two, and then you see the product of the of the fallen angels' intercourse with the daughters of men, which produces these Nephilim, these Gibborim, these giants, which is usually translated to, and as you can see in the Aramaic from the first century, and the Greek as well, it seems they connect the two, so it's further even more clear what is. Of course, if you go into the Hebrew, you can see it's two different words, but the Aramaic and the Greek translate both these words that is different to the same thing in regards to giants. So they absolutely connected. They I would think that they probably do that to make it more clear for the reader what is going on. So I'm not sure in regards to the Latin what that actually, if it also used the gigantus thing, that would be from the fourth century. But anyway, let's try to. Mm, mm, mm. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Wow. So they're getting a little cold. Huh. I'm speaking too much. Mm. So sadly, it's losing its hotness. Mm. Mm. Oh, uh-huh. Mm-hmm. If you eat, more like sheep, um, grown up, and all that, they usually taste of more lamb, which actually, I got to like. The problem is, grown up animals are much, much stronger in the meat. So, you know, you would need to have it chopped up instead, because it's just way too much for the teeth. Mm. Even if you slow cook it and all that, it didn't. I just couldn't. I still had teeth issues in regards of. I tried a male animal and sheep and all that. And they were much cheaper. Mm. So you get food for a longer period of time, but having pain in your teeth is not so nice. Kind of not prefer that. But if it was chopped up, it was it would be fine. I think the taste was absolutely no problem. I ended up getting to like it, and some sheep people that have tend to apparently also like the taste. So it's just something to grow on. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nice, it's a little hard in the bottom here, and it's dry as well. Mm-mm-mm. Not great. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. That's good. I still taste the lemon for sure, but again, the further in you get, the less you should taste the lemon, although it's not bad. But it is. I understand. I smell, taste like garlic. Mm. Mm-hmm. A little roast. Mm-hmm. I agree. Mm. So anyway, so yeah, you find so many Christian sources that confirm the fallen angel view, and not really, further really just speaking of it as fact. So anyway, let's take some ananas. Mm. They're pretty good ananas. Mm. It's really juicy and it's pretty. It's ripe. I'm kind of surprised that it actually was so ripe, at least in the bottom. Mm. I took the bottom because I'm thinking, probably going to keep better fresh if it has the top on it. If you take the top off, I would think that it wouldn't have anything to draw from. I don't know, but anyway, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Okay, so yeah, so you have all these Christian sources supporting it. The view of the giants. And when I heard the argumentation from this guy, um, saying it was a pagan doctrine, and I'm like, why do you see the pagan? You have one Christian source after another, and I'm like, yeah, that's just ridiculous. Now, further, it seems like, further investigating it, it again seems to that these pagan sources are actually more confirmation in regards to the account of fallen angels. Like the flood stories we have confirming the Bible. Although with some different details and some things that they mess up and so forward, but overall, in support of the Bible, because they knew that there was a flood. So that was the rosemary. I'm not sure in regards of these guys, but the rosemary outside was pretty good when they roasted. I guess I have more in the back of the roast here. Ah. Yeah. Mm. 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 Well, I'm going to get solid or whatever you wanna, going to get pretty stuffed off by this for sure. Mm. Mm. Now in Israel, oh, there we go with the lemon again. Now in Israel, they eat chicken. That was the first trip I was in Israel. Now, when they had the Passover or Easter in Denmark, it was a month after they had it in Israel because two different calendars and two different ways of counting in regard to when the Passover is, because most of the world are following Roman tradition in regards to the Antichrist and the Queen of the Heavens, in regards of so-called Mary, which is just a pagan goddess of old in regards to the pagan trinity of Father, Mother, and Son. And you can follow that far back, to Sumer and Babylon and many other places. You have the same symbols of this under different names and whatnot. But anyway, it took me some time to crack that Babylonian nonsense or Sumerian nonsense or whatever you want to call it. Mystery Babylon the Great, right? And we see the pagan trinity in regard to the so-called Star of David everywhere. Freemasonry, the Roman Catholic maniac institutions, well, the whorehouses, the graveyards of living dead. Any case, or dead men walking. I guess dead men walking probably better term. Anyway, we see these symbols and the connection producing the sun god and all that. You can see the male thing, in regards to the male thing going upward. You have the feminine going downward. And in the middle you have, well, sometimes they put it actually further in regards of outside, but but inside you can usually also see the Jesus G, for example, of the Freemasons with, in a sun. Uh-oh. Is it closing my mobile down because I'm recording? Hopefully not. Hopefully it's just giving me a warning. I guess I need the new mobile, but again, what to get, There's really no point in high temperature, blah, 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 blah. Give me a break. I'm just recording and sending a little information. Give me a break. But anyway, so you have in the middle of this so-called Star of David, you have the sun. You can find multiple pictures of this. So when you crack the code and understand, you have the Vega in regards to the priest. You have the so-called Mary, the Queen of the Heavens. And interconnection, these father and mother produces the sun. Thereby you have the Catholic round sun cookie that is to be worshipped by the Satanist bullshitters. And, this hall, which was there from the beginning of Rome, just took on sheep clothing around 300. But of course, it began, things were already beginning in the first century, sowing the tares amongst the wheat. So already at that point it began to change things. So, yeah, you can find multiple pictures to confirm what I'm saying. Just dig a little around and yeah. I don't need to prove it or anything like that. If anyone wants to have some verification on it, just go look for yourself. It took me some time to figure it out in regard to this pagan trinity. Now, of course, there's the true trinity of Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, and the twist that people tend to forget, the sons of Jehovah. Well, the sons and daughters, the children of Jehovah, that are newborn by the Spirit of truth. I have the model on my website, although it doesn't have all the details, but it has pretty much most of it. But you could put more information on it. That already shows the Trinity with a twist. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, and the children of God, children of Jehovah. Anyway, it was made by someone I was talking to in regards to whip stuff and all that, and he saw my picture and he made a model, although he didn't add it all I usually had a striped line because they are from above and we are from below, but anyway, it has a lot of the details, and it has it shows how it all works out. Because of course the so-called Jehovah's Witnesses are saying, oh, you can't explain the Trinity, and why do you then believe it, and blah 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 blah. And of course these people are doing the will of the devil. Just because someone can't explain something doesn't mean it's not true. You can understand something and you might not be able to explain it or teach it, but that doesn't mean that you don't know. What it's just that's why we have teachers, for example, have sometimes, like for example my earthly father and my grandmother, or my I guess mother's father, mother's mother's mother, I guess. My mother's mother. I don't know if you call that but we do in Denmark. We do have this mother's mother. So my mother's mother was a teacher in regards. She was very good at telling things, whereas my father understood the things, but he was very bad at he just he wrote it and gave me the instead of explain. He was very bad at explaining things, but my mother's mother was so much better at but that's not to say that he didn't understand, because he got the true result. He just gave me the it's just fixed. He looked at it and just gave me the result, and there you go. Right? And I'm like, yeah, okay, I have the result, but how do I do it? Right? It's like so he was pretty bad in that way. So just because you don't, just because you can't, get the information over to another doesn't mean you don't understand it, and is led in the right direction by the Holy Spirit by reading the Bible. So when the Jehovah's Witnesses are coming to sow doubt in people, newborn Christians and all that, it's just so devilish, So, and you get more data points as you go in regards of seeing the sides of the Jehovah's Witnesses. Like, I remember a woman saying, well, I've used 20 years to go around and talk to Christians about the Trinity and all that, and they can't never explain it and blah 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 blah. And then I'm saying, why do you then, so you can just see how they sowing doubt. She was walking around for 20 years sowing doubt in people, and they're trained to deny that Jesus is God, and Jehovah. Now they believe he's a God, but not the God. But of course, Jesus is our Savior, so If Jesus is our Savior and Jehovah doesn't give his salvation to any other, well, that breaks scripture if you're not saying that that Jesus or Yeshua is Jehovah, So it falls flat on the ground as a stinking turd. It's just very. So the Jehovah's Witnesses are really the false witnesses. They're trained to deny that Yeshua is Jehovah. It's very sad. When I found out, because I had a primary contact to the Jehovah's Witnesses, and all the false witnesses, and at that point I actually found out that Yeshua was God. I guess you have all these coincidences where it just seems like there's some kind of ding 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 that God is letting you see things as you go, and just coincidence after coincidence in regards to these things. And I didn't know they rejected that Yeshua was God and all that, and I can just see there was a huge problematic thing in regards of, and whatever you brought forward, the guy would, primary guy would do anything and everything to grab anything else that didn't see, anything and everything else than what was reasonable. It's like grabbing everything else and accepting everything else than what is just, at your front nose, right? So that was interesting. That was an experience, I guess. And, it helped me, I guess, to further dig into the topic overall, and find out that so many bullshitters are out there in regard, oh, Jesus, in regard to the divinity, oh, it was invented in 325 in regard to the Nicene Council and all that. Bullshit. Can you say bullshit? Because that's what it is. So anyone saying that to you is a bullshitter and a liar, or deceived, and promoting snake oil nonsense, that's for sure. Just the last document I have over here. This is the last document I have in regards of it. You have so many sources, and this is the last source that I ran into. That's a document from around 200 AD. And it's primarily in regards of the book of Daniel and the book of Revelation and all that, and also talking about the number 666. Which, of course, there's some bullshit out there that, the number is not 666, it's 660 or whatever nonsense. And primarily that also comes from a Roman Catholic. At least that's the primary source I know in regards of promoting this nonsense. Or that the Greek letters actually in regards of the Mohammedan, give me a break in regards to this bullshit. But any case, so not only does he verify the number 666 in the year 200, and he also talks about, of course, that Jesus is God, It's like, and this is, again, it's just one of many, many documents. And why wouldn't it be? Because it's there from the beginning of the New Testament, So if it was there in the New Testament in the first century, you would expect that, people coming afterwards would promote the same, right? And they are. So, it's just nonsense. Anyway, Jehovah. In regards to the name of God, that was another. Actually, I learned something in regards of. It made me look further into things in regards of the Jehovah's Witnesses, in regards of the name. And, I was on many levels in regards of researching this. I thought the name was Yahuwah in the past. And this is still a doctrine that is out there being promoted. And if you actually go look at some of those people promoting it, they have some, one of the guys that is one of the biggies is writing in one of his books that he has been educated at by the Jesuit Illuminati. And it's like, okay, he's just telling you in the front of his book that he's educated by the Jesuit Illuminati. Like, okay, ding, 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 we might have a problem here, maybe. Then further, you can see the shop, his shop as well, having all these pagan, filthy things all over. And it's like, okay, ding, 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 we have a, yeah. It's interesting. So I met one of these, these groups of different people, and they were giving me the thumbs up on many other things in regards to the Roman Catholics, and they were also, follow, trying to follow the festivals and all that. So I was trying to explain to many of these in regards to the name of Jehovah and in regards of Yeshua, because they're into all these, and I showed in regards to this guy, in regards of being educated, in regards of the Jesuit Illuminati, that he from his own book in regards of, and showing them the video in regards of his shop and all that, and yet they ended up banning me on the platform of Gap. And that was really the group that you had most of the same of the interest with, and yet they couldn't handle that, standing on the name of Jehovah and Yeshua, which is have so many confirmations. Like we have a Jew that collected 16 sources, Jewish sources, on the name Jehovah, because he was tired of this thing in regards of people saying, well, Jehovah was a Western invention. So what he did was to look in the Jewish sources. So he found 16 sources, although I don't know if he actually have released his book. The idea was that he would be making another book. He made one book on the name of Jehovah, and then he wanted to make another book. Although I think he gets that was something I was investigating. He gets the grammar wrong, which is just weird when he is a Jew. So, in regard to the front letter of the prefix in regards of Jehovah, if we have confirmed and totally solid on the name of Jehovah, well, you can see that the front prefix to the name of Jehovah is in regards of, Adonai. It's not in regards of Jehovah. So if you follow the grammar in regards of Yod Sheva, it's Lihovah to Jehovah. Like, you have these rules, and you can, I use the Bible for this mostly. And also, I do have some grammar things as well. But you look into the Bible, like Jerusalem, which is Yod Sheva, and other words in regards of Yod Sheva, and every single one you can find follow this rule of when you have a prefix, it becomes like Lihovah, Bihovah, Vihovah, and so forward. In regards of. So if you do the same thing with the name of Jehovah, instead of using the prefix of Adonai, it's like a Frankenstein word. I found out. I figured out that Jehovah is correct, but the front prefix apparently is made to make the person, in regards of saying, because they usually say Adonai, or it's many years that I did the research. But anyway, so the Jewish scholar found 16 sources of things that the Jews didn't, was like, hush hush, right? But he brought these 16 sources forward. I did get banned from his group, but I did read. I think I did read all 16 sources there was. Some of the sources is out there for free and all that. But the idea was to also bring them in a book. But I know that usually you have a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things to research and go on with. So anyway, so the Jews are usually saying lechaim, for life, and you just say back for lihovah. And the thing is, when you actually do this, the Jews understand the grammar. They understand what you're saying. Of course, they don't like you using the name Jehovah. You can get rebuked by Jews when you have Jehovah on your t-shirt and all that, or use the name, and, oh, it's only the high priest that is allowed to say it, and blah, 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 blah. Then you go to Route 24, and of course, other places you could go to and all that. But anyway, it's not only the high priest that is using the name Jehovah. Anyway, yeah, it's not good with this alcohol thing. It does seem to promote my itching, and I just hate this itching. It's not like, it's, I know in regards of getting to a shower, water, hot bath and all that can promote it. Alcohol can promote it. Sugar can promote it. It's terrible, absolutely terrible. At least I can. It's not as bad as it was in the beginning when it exploded throughout my body. Just terrible. Of course, these white coat butchers on license can't figure anything out, right? They're just totally depraved. They're selling fungal poison to the people and injecting them with bullshit, so they can get some money, some blood money in their pockets. Hmm. And of course, psychotropic drugs as well. They use that as well. Huh? Get some things in regards of your head, right? Just it was a disgusting, murderous system. That's what it is. Anyway, mistreatment on so many levels. I guess my mobile is still complaining about it being too hot and all that. So anyway, when it crashes, I guess it crashes, right? Now I only have 15%. It's apparently sucking the juice out of the battery pretty quickly, even if I have a pretty big battery in it. Anyway, so can we do like this? Well, I guess. Anyway, hopefully it will move it so maybe we can do okay. Powering. Well, I guess we lost it. Anyway, have a great Passover.